what to say when people ask about your hair. It is like the most anxiety-filled moment I can think of. It's the most stressful situation when you're not out about your hair and your hair wearing or whatever your hair situation is.
Yeah.
And someone asks about your
We've
hair.
both been there.
When hair comes up in
It's
conversation.
fight or flight. I'm flight.
Yes.
What are you?
Flight. Definitely.
Are you
I was
flight?
Yeah, I was flight. No, flight. I was definitely flight as well.
I was get that out of there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As soon as the topic of hair came up at all, I was out before it could be directed at me, wherever possible. Oh my goodness. Look, we get it. We get it. You're in the office lunchroom and someone's just got their hair done.
And lunchroom, honestly.
They start asking like, oh, what hairdresser did you go? And you're like, oh my God. You start sweating. My armpits would just sting. I was so stressed every time. So what do? You got to have some sort of plan, or I guess some way to handle it, or you're going to be in that situation every time.
We don't want you to live your lives in fear. So we're going to give you some really practical tips on things that you can say depending on where you are in your hair wearing journey.
Yeah. Hopefully we can give you some tips for each kind of stage of how out you might be. And hopefully the tips that relate to the next stage will give you some practical way to move ahead in your journey, because ideally we would love for you all to be able to get to the other side in your hair journey, and be kind of loud and proud like we are, or like whatever that is for you. We'd love for you to not be held back by your hair anymore, not be in these stressful situations, not sure what to do anymore. We want to give you those tools and help you move forward and join us.
And I guess if you're at the start of that journey, like it is scary, it is daunting if someone starts talking about your hair. Like we were just saying, like I 100% know, like I went from flight, like exit the room, and now when they ask, I literally take my hair off. Doesn't matter where I am, and show
I've been
them
at a
how
cafe having lunch with Kim and she's taken her hair off.
Show them just how incredible and amazing it is, because I feel like this is sort of a different video, but I feel that when you have a piece that is amazing and you feel so confident in it, that is also going to help change
that's game changing. Absolutely.
perception of what others might think.
That made it easier for me for sure, which is probably, as Kim said, a totally separate conversation.
Yeah.
But let's give you some, I guess, verbiage to help like deflect or answer whatever you're wanting to achieve those questions, so that you've got a plan. Okay, let's pretend, Kim, we're way back then and we're not out at all. We don't want anyone to know this isn't our hair.
Okay.
The hair topic comes up and someone says, I love your hair. Where do you get it done? No, let's just start with a compliment, because that's usually the situation, right? Usually it's a compliment that sends us into a puddle on the ground. Like that's usually like enough, isn't it? And that's all it is. It's just a compliment. It's nothing to be afraid of.
It's very rare someone's actually going to say, are you wearing a topper?
Exactly. It's usually not that. We'll get to that as well, just in case. But usually it's just, oh my gosh, Kim, your hair looks so nice today. And she's dying inside.
I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Done.
Did you finish that report from yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
Change the
subject. Yeah. That is like strategy number 1. Accept the compliment without sweating, and then just move on. Like you move on. If you feel like,
try and do it naturally. Like thank you so much. Oh my God, by the way, did you end up doing that thing you were saying about yesterday?
Yeah. Always have another compliment in your back pocket to pay back to them, and then you're like back on them, and it's all over.
Oh thank you so much. Oh my God, where's your top from? I love it.
Yeah, perfect.
Even if you hate it.
Even if you, especially if you hate it. But yeah, having some, like, just being able to accept that compliment and being able to just move the conversation on, rather than like, thanks. Like, you just don't know what to do. And then what are they going to do? I guess they're going to try and move the conversation themselves, which could go anywhere. And you don't want to be out of control. I guess that's the main feeling, is that you're not in control and you're, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Just take back control.
You drive that.
Yeah, just drive it away from your hair. It's okay. You're going to be okay. So usually no one's going to like push past that if it's just a compliment on your hair. Just like, thanks so much. If someone says,
who's your hairdresser?
Or I was going to say,
what?
Oh, Kim, your hair looks so nice today. Did you do something? Did you change it? It looks different to usual.
Okay. Then you got a couple of options. You could say like, oh, I washed it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Most people will believe that.
Yeah. So I washed it. I got a new colour put in last night. You could say, if you're feeling a bit more game, I guess, you could go into that hair extension realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could say, oh, I got these extensions. Do you like them? If you want to go a bit further, I guess. Or you can just say, oh yeah, I got some hair extensions put in just to give me more fullness. Got them last night.
Yeah. Or if they've literally just said like, oh, you've done something different, just be like, thanks, do you like it? Yeah. You don't even have to explain yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You can still just accept. But if they push and they're like, I do, what did you do? Then you can come up with something that's just simple, that's familiar to everyone. I got some extensions or whatever.
Because it's normally not to fish for anything like negative. It's
just
normally
paying a compliment.
Because they actually think, oh my God, like your hair looks good. How can mine get like that?
Yeah,
sort
exactly.
Of thing. If they say, who's your hairdresser? You don't have one.
I've never had a hairdresser before.
I mean, you could just like have some random hairdresser name in your back pocket if you want, or you can say, oh, I go to different salons all the time.
Yeah.
You could say Luster Hair, because let's be honest, I don't know who we are. That sounds like a salon. You could just,
Yeah, if you want to.
Or you could say, oh, I have a friend who comes home and does it for me.
Yeah, perfect.
Just something like that.
If you want to give an answer like that you, I guess, had prepared earlier, then go for it. But let's kind of, I guess, move on to...
Okay.
Like, maybe you are ready to tell them a little bit. They don't have to know your whole life story. You're not ready for that, maybe. But, as Kim said, oh, Kim, I love your hair today. You've done something different. Thanks. It's extensions I'm trying out. What do you think? And then I think I've always found... Like, I've been friends with Kim for a long time. I've always found that really works, that whole, like, thanks, what do you think? It goes back to them to, like, it works. I don't know why it works. Why does that work?
I think it's because they have to come up with something instead of you having to come up with reasons as to why you say it looks good and why you want it. You're getting them, the onus is on them to say, well, they brought it up, so what do you think? Yeah,
exactly. It moves... As Kim said, it just kind of drives the conversation along and you're in control again. You're asking the questions and they're not. So I think that works really well. You can give it a go. Let us know how it goes. Okay, so now maybe you are ready to tell them that you're wearing a wig or a topper.
Yeah. But you don't want to go into medical histories and stuff. Like, you're literally just telling them that it is something maybe cosmetic or something for fun. Okay? So this is like the light-hearted route into like admitting or exposing that you have something on your head, which is actually not as much of a big deal as you're thinking it is right now.
Yeah, in the moment, and if you haven't done it before, it's like the biggest deal you could possibly. Anyway, it's a lot, and we totally get that. We've both been there. Like, hello. I was around 25 before I started telling people that what I had always played off as my own hair my whole life was not, and that I had been lying the whole time. So that was a big deal for me.
It's a huge deal.
Massive.
I was wearing toppers for 2 years before I admitted that I was wearing them.
Yeah. So it depends what you've been saying prior. It depends if you're going to have to be like, I have been lying to you straight up for years. Or if they're just an acquaintance and it's no big deal because you haven't been deceiving them full time.
But even if you have, like, they're not going to actually remember, last year when you were wearing it and you said it's just hair, and to now, like, they're not that perceptive.
No one is. Only we are. Only we look at each other's hair that closely.
Okay, so what can you say? Say, oh my God, I love your hair. Did you change something? Oh, I've got a hairpiece. I just got a hairpiece. What do you think? It clips in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Nailed it. And if it's me, for example, now it's kind of hard because it's a bit of a different situation for me. I didn't like start wearing hair and remember what that was like. I was a kid, but I would just say to people, thanks so much. It's a wig. Do you love it?
Yeah.
Like, there's really no other way to just play that off. I think my
actual line, now I'm thinking about it, I do say, oh, it's actually not my hair. This is a piece I'm wearing on top. And I show them how it clips in, but you don't have to do that.
You totally don't. Like, I wouldn't. I'm not even at that point yet where I would be out in public with people and show them how it works.
I'm getting a takeaway latte and taking off my hair at the same time.
Literally, you did that this week.
Yeah.
Whereas I would just tell people, and I'm happy to like kind of show people, but they don't need to see me like naked. I'd say like,
if you do show, they do love it. Like,
oh my gosh,
I've never got a negative ever, even from people who I think would be like so judgmental about it. They're just like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah.
How? Where?
Yeah.
And even when I say I'm actually wearing a piece on top, do you like it? They're like, where?
What
I'm
do you
like,
mean
here.
on top?
This is the, and they're like getting up in there and trying to find it, and I'm like, I either say, look, don't worry about it, or I take it off.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we talked about before. is that when we had a really good piece, it made telling people so much easier. I was hiding and lying because I was embarrassed
you felt
of
insecure.
the piece.
Yeah.
I didn't want to draw attention to it because I didn't want people to look at it because it was so clearly a wig. Whereas now, I love it when people ask about my hair because I get to tell them, I get to bamboozle them, and it's my favorite thing to do. So when it comes up and I'm like, oh, thanks so much, it's not my hair, it's a wig, I change it up all the time, it's really fun. Usually, never a negative reaction. Ever.
Yeah.
It's always like,
Never.
whoa, that is so cool, you get to change your hair all the time. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, it's the best. And they're like, it looks so good, I don't even understand.
Yeah.
And I often bring the whole thing into it, like nowadays.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't even have eyebrows and eyelashes. It's all fake, babe.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I cannot. And they just can't process it. And then it moves on. So if you just bamboozle the heck out of them, just confuse them to the point where they can't ask any more questions, you're done. Brilliant.
I think because we're always around like each other and like women who are buying hair, wigs, toppers, like it's just so normalized to us. Whereas remember, like the people that you're going to be talking to, this is the first time they're hearing about something, so they might have follow-up questions. Just don't worry that it's not because they're thinking it looks bad or it's negative. They're literally just curious because like wigs and toppers are so unknown. Like people don't actually realize that people actually wear them.
Yeah, I know.
And they just don't know what they are.
And so that's so true that I think you can use it to your advantage and just link it to something they do understand. So I often tell people, especially when they're wearing a topper, which is technically like a crown extension, to just bring it back to extensions and just be like, it's a piece, clips on top, it's kind of like an extension. What do you think? And like, it just like explains it a bit better to the people who have no idea what a topper is. They don't understand. And when people do ask any sorts of follow-up questions, it's rarely why. So you don't usually need to go into your hair loss story. It's usually just how. They want to know how it works. They're so curious. Like, if people are asking questions, they love it.
Some people might ask why.
Yeah.
And I guess in that scenario, you could say, like, honestly, we're here to tell you that you don't even have to tell anyone that you're wearing hair. That's your business.
This is
if you want to. And it is quite liberating and freeing because the more people know, the more you're going to feel comfortable wearing it as well. It's like a bit of a barrier just breaking down like different walls.
It's just setting yourself free constantly. Yeah. Like, another person who knows, who I just don't need to worry about.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's like, and then it's like, I've gone out with the baddest blends sometimes because of like the worst. That's a word, baddest.
It is now.
Yeah, it is. And it's because like, maybe I've had it in all day, but actually, usually it's because I've taken my wig off in public and put it back on without a mirror. That's normally when I have the baddest blend. And people still don't know that I've got something. It's like back here kind of thing.
Yeah, first of all, they still don't know, which is amazing. But second of all, if they do, you don't care because you're happy to tell everyone. So it really does just
but if they say why, yes, it definitely does. If they say why, you can be very short about it. You can say, oh, my hair's thin. I've got thin hair. This is giving me more hair. Or I just like the way it looks. It's easy for me to get rid. Just come up with one line that is your reason.
Yeah,
that's
that you're comfortable with.
A whole synopsis of your medical history and the creams
you tried.
tried.
In 2014, I noticed my hair was thinning. I got a diagnosis.
You don't have to do that.
They don't.
It's not their business. It's not relevant to the conversation. You just want to keep it lighthearted, fun, because this is a solution that you feel happy and confident in.
Yeah,
we don't want to drag it down to the
we don't want to do that.
depressings.
No, because the other thing is people will always reciprocate your energy every time.
Yeah.
When I first started telling people, and it was so hard, and I was so nervous, and I was sweating everywhere. They reciprocate that, and it's kind of like are
you okay?
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's like, yes, I'm actually fine.
Yeah.
I just thought I had to give you a whole synopsis of like.
And if you're feeling sorry for yourself, they'll feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what you've just told them to feel by your feelings. If you are like, thanks so much for the wig, I love it, I get to change it up all the time, how fun is that? They're like, oh my gosh, so cool, jealous, need it. Like, they will always do what you're doing, okay? Unless they're an idiot. And if you've got someone like Uncle so-and-so at Christmas or whatever who's just
delete.
Don't worry, that's an anomaly. That's a minority. Yeah. Usually people will just be like, wow, amazing. If you are. So
actually on that, should we say if someone is pressing you for like details that you don't want to provide,
we're being negative, like, but why do you have hair? Like, if they're being like that, you can actually just shut it down and just be like, you know what, I'm actually not super comfortable talking about it. Can we change the subject?
Or like, let's talk about something else. Look, that's enough of that conversation. Moving on.
We're giving you permission to do that. You do not have to keep answering questions from someone who is
especially
like, interrogating
from your uncle freaking Jim. Like, honestly, Jim, just shut up.
Like, Jim, you don't get it. It's fine. Moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when we have talked about this before, those little one-liners that you're comfortable with are the most helpful thing. Just whatever it is, like, oh, Topper, I like, you know, would love to have more hair, but I didn't want to like risk it with the extensions damaging my hair. So here we are. It's actually really fun. Or it's actually really easy. Like whatever, your little one-liner, practice it, say it in the mirror, role play it with your friends, find a little hair loss buddy you can talk to about it, and get that practice. You're gonna feel like an idiot the first time.
Oh yeah,
like,
the first time you're gonna be like,
I just say? I can't even remember my own name right now, but you'll get that super casualness.
You'll get you'll perfect this. Like,
it does take practice. Get people to practice on. Pick your opportunities. You don't have to decide, okay, I'm going to start telling people about my hair, and then every time it comes up, do it. It's your choice. You're in control. Just pick situations where you're like, okay, this is one of those times. It's actually, and then just go for it and see what happens. You'll only get more confident.
That can happen? Actually, nothing. It's probably going to be quite freeing, positive.
So freeing. That's a whole other video. It's so liberating and freeing. We can't even describe it to you. So that's our tips for now. If you've got any other tips, please comment.
Leave your lines down below.
Absolutely. Those little one-liners, put them down below. Tell us your stories. Where are you at? Like, have you told anyone? Are you like us? Like, tell us everything. We can't wait to hear how you go.
So excited.
All right, good luck, girls. Bye.